Wealth is a birthright, not a reward. This truth must take root in your spirit before anything else can manifest in your life. From the very moment you arrived in this world, abundance was already encoded in your being. You were never created to live in scarcity or to scrape through life believing that only hard labor and endless striving could make you deserving of prosperity. You were born worthy. You were born to flourish. You were born with the inheritance of infinite supply. And yet, the world has taught you otherwise. The world has told you that wealth is earned only through struggle, that blessings must be fought for, that only a few are lucky enough to receive them. But the deeper truth is this: wealth has never been about luck. Wealth has never been about struggle. Wealth is about alignment. To say, "Bind me to wealth," is not to beg for riches, nor is it to plead with the universe for special treatment. To be bound to wealth is to awaken to your union with the source of abundance. It is to enter into a covenant where you no longer see prosperity as something separate from yourself, but as something that flows within you, through you, and for you. To be bound to wealth is to tie your heart to the rhythm of abundance so firmly that lack becomes unthinkable. It is not about chains that imprison, it is about sacred bonds that liberate. For when you bind yourself to wealth, you are not binding yourself to greed, nor to the empty chase for materialism. You are binding yourself to a truth greater than the illusions of lack. The truth that prosperity is your natural state of being. Think of wealth as a river, vast and ceaseless, a current that flows without end. This river is not created by human effort. It has existed long before you and will exist long after you. The ritual of abundance does not require you to build the river. Your task is simpler and more powerful. Step into its waters. Too often, people live as though standing on the shore, staring at the river of prosperity, believing it is not theirs to touch. They tell themselves stories of unworthiness. I am not ready. I have not worked hard enough. I am not good enough. These stories are illusions, heavy stones that keep them tied to the shore. But the truth is, the river has no judgment. It does not ask for your resume, your bank balance, or your sacrifices. It only asks that you step in, trust the current, and allow yourself to be carried. To bind yourself to wealth is to step into this river and say, I belong here. This current is mine to flow in. I am not a stranger to prosperity, I am at home in its waters. And when you step in, something shifts. The flow begins to wash away old beliefs, the fears of lack, the doubts that have lingered in your mind. You begin to feel the rhythm of abundance, and it carries you into places you never thought possible. But the ritual of wealth requires more than desire, it requires gratitude. Gratitude is the magnet of manifestation. Gratitude ties you to blessings before they arrive, binding you to the unseen riches of tomorrow as if they were already here today. Gratitude is not a response to having, it is the cause of more having. To wake each day and declare, I am thankful for the overflow in my life, is to open doors that would otherwise remain closed. Gratitude shifts the unseen into the seen, the invisible into the tangible. When you are grateful for wealth before it arrives, you are saying to the universe, I already trust that it belongs to me. And the universe, in its perfect order, responds to that trust with manifestation. Alongside gratitude, the ritual of wealth requires vision. Vision is the ability to see abundance before it shows itself. Vision binds you to the outcome before it manifests in your world. When you close your eyes and picture yourself living in prosperity, when you imagine the home, the opportunities, the generosity you can offer, you are not playing pretend. You are binding yourself to that reality. Vision creates the conditions for manifestation because what you see inwardly, you magnetize outwardly. The future you envision is a seed planted in the soil of your imagination, and every act of faith waters that seed until it becomes a harvest. Without vision, people perish. With vision, people prosper. And then there are the words, the declarations. Declarations are not empty sounds, they are living power. Every time you speak, you release an energy that builds the world around you. To declare wealth is to bind yourself to it. When you say, I am wealthy, even when the evidence of your bank account suggests otherwise, you are not lying. You are speaking a deeper truth, a truth that supersedes appearances. Words shape destiny. Words carve pathways where there were once walls. Words turn intangible dreams into tangible realities. What you consistently declare with faith and emotion will bind itself to your experience. So speak life into your finances. Speak multiplication into your opportunities. Speak overflow into your destiny. Speak until your words take root in the soil of possibility and bloom into the harvest of manifestation. We must also remember that wealth is sacred, not selfish. To be bound to wealth is not to hoard, but to overflow. Prosperity is not meant to stop with you. It is meant to move through you. When you prosper, you uplift others. When you overflow, you water the dry ground around you. To bind yourself to wealth is to agree to become a vessel of blessing, a conduit through which prosperity flows to others. This is the true beauty of abundance. It expands. It multiplies. It is never meant for one. It is meant for many. So when you prosper, see it not only as a personal gain but as a contribution to the greater good. The light of your prosperity shines into the lives of others, inspiring them to rise, empowering them to believe, and enabling them to claim their own inheritance of abundance. And perhaps the most important truth of all is this: wealth is now, not someday. Too many people delay their prosperity. They live in a mindset of someday. Someday I will be wealthy. Someday I will live free. Someday I will see the abundance I dream of. But someday is a mirage. It never arrives. Wealth is here. Wealth is present. Wealth is always now. When you bind yourself to wealth, you are binding yourself to the eternal present moment, claiming abundance as your reality now, not in the distant future. You no longer postpone prosperity, you embody it. And when you live in the vibration of abundance now, everything in your external world rearranges itself to match that inner reality. To say, "Bind me to wealth," is to declare a vow. It is to stand boldly and say, "I am no longer chasing prosperity, I am united with it. I am no longer pleading for blessings, I am bound to them. I am no longer waiting for my season is now. Bind me to wealth. Bind me to the river that never ceases. Bind me to the gratitude that magnetizes. Bind me to the vision that creates. Bind me to the words that declare. Bind me to the sacredness of overflow. Bind me to the truth that wealth is not apart from me. It is within me, around me, and for me. This ritual is not a performance. It is a transformation. It is a reordering of your beliefs, your words, your gratitude, and your vision until they align perfectly with the flow of abundance. Each day, as you declare, as you give thanks, as you visualize, as you affirm, you strengthen the binding. You tighten the sacred cord that ties you to prosperity. And with each repetition, with each act of faith, wealth becomes less of a possibility and more of a certainty. So let your vow be sealed today. No longer will you stand at the shore, watching the river pass by. No longer will you postpone abundance for a distant future. No longer will you doubt your worthiness to receive. Today you step into the flow. Today you bind yourself to wealth. Today you claim your birthright. Today you walk in the ritual of abundance, knowing that prosperity is not coming, it is here. It has always been here. It will always be here. And because you are bound to it, it can never leave you. Wealth is not a reward for the deserving few. Wealth is your inheritance. Wealth is your natural state. Wealth is your now. Bind yourself to it, and watch as the current of abundance carries you into a life beyond your wildest imagination. To bind yourself to wealth is to declare that you are no longer separate from abundance. It is not about chains of greed or clinging to materialism, but about a sacred union, a covenant between your spirit and the infinite source of supply. When you stand before life and affirm, "I am bound to wealth," you are announcing that you are tied forever to prosperity, inseparable from the flow of good, connected eternally to the stream that cannot run dry. This binding is not a restriction, it is liberation. It is the freedom to walk in truth, the truth that abundance is your natural state and lack is nothing more than an illusion of separation. When you bind yourself to wealth, you step into the understanding that you and prosperity are not two different entities. You and prosperity are one. Just as the wave is not separate from the ocean, you are not separate from abundance. The wave may rise and fall, but it is always part of the ocean. Likewise, your life may appear to have cycles of expansion and contraction, but the truth is that the current of wealth never leaves you. When you bind yourself to wealth, you anchor yourself in the unchanging truth that prosperity is eternal. Wealth in this sense is not simply money. Wealth is life in its fullest measure, peace of mind, vibrant health, flourishing relationships, meaningful opportunities, overflowing creativity, and yes, financial prosperity. To bind yourself to wealth is to bind yourself to the wholeness of life, to the overflowing goodness that the universe has already prepared for you. Wealth is not outside of you, waiting to be earned through endless strain. Wealth is within you, waiting to be acknowledged, accepted, and expressed. A sacred union is sealed by choice. It is sealed by intention. When two souls enter a union, they make vows, and those vows carry power. Likewise, when you bind yourself to wealth, you must speak your vow with clarity and conviction. You must declare, "I vow to walk in prosperity. I vow to honor abundance as my natural inheritance. I vow to remain united with supply, never again entertaining thoughts of lack or limitation." These are not just words, they are living decrees that carve pathways in your consciousness and magnetize experiences that reflect your vow. Binding yourself to wealth requires a release of fear. Fear is the voice that says, "What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if there is not enough?" But when you bind yourself to wealth, you silence fear with truth. You respond, "There is always enough. I cannot fail because I am connected to an unfailing source. I do not chase supply. I am supply in motion." Fear may knock on the door of your mind, but when you are bound to wealth, you no longer answer. You live in a higher frequency where fear cannot reside. Binding yourself to wealth also requires gratitude. Gratitude is the seal of union. Just as love binds two hearts together, gratitude binds you to prosperity. When you give thanks in advance for abundance not yet seen, you are declaring that you trust the union. You are saying, I am so certain of my bond with wealth that I give thanks before the harvest even arrives. Gratitude transforms unseen potential into tangible manifestation. Gratitude takes what is invisible and magnetizes it into your experience. When you are bound to wealth, you no longer see prosperity as something fragile that can be taken away. You understand that the form of wealth may shift. Money may flow in one channel today and another tomorrow, but the source remains the same. A river does not dry up simply because one stream changes course. Likewise, your union with wealth means that no matter the circumstances, supply will always find a way to you. Opportunities may shift, doors may close, but when you are bound to wealth, new doors open, new channels appear, and provision continues to flow. This binding is not passive, it is active. Just as in a sacred union between two people, commitment is required, and action is the expression of that commitment. When you bind yourself to wealth, you live in alignment with abundance. You make choices that reflect prosperity rather than poverty. You speak words that affirm abundance rather than reinforce limitation. You carry yourself with confidence, knowing that wealth walks with you, wealth speaks through you, and wealth manifests around you. This sacred union with wealth demands that you honor yourself. You cannot bind yourself to abundance while dishonoring your worth. Wealth responds to worthiness. If you see yourself as unworthy, you push prosperity away. But when you honor your value, when you recognize that you are a vessel of infinite supply, you attract wealth naturally. To bind yourself to wealth is to affirm daily, I am worthy, I am chosen, I am favored, I am one with abundance. Imagine what happens when a person truly binds themselves to wealth. Their energy changes. They no longer beg life for scraps. They no longer shrink in the presence of opportunity. They walk with assurance, knowing that they are backed by an endless supply. They move forward with boldness, because they know that their covenant with abundance guarantees provision. When challenges arise, they do not panic, because they know the bond cannot be broken. They are bound to wealth, and wealth is bound to them. Binding yourself to wealth also transforms your relationship with giving. When you are bound to prosperity, you give freely, because you know that giving cannot diminish you. Instead, giving expands you. You give not from fear of losing, but from the joy of overflowing. You give because you know that as you release, you make room for more to flow in. Giving becomes part of your ritual, an expression of your sacred union with wealth. You know that the more you circulate, the stronger your bond with prosperity becomes. The sacred union with wealth is not selfish. When you are bound to prosperity, you become a channel of blessings for others. Your abundance is not meant to stop with you. It is meant to flow through you. When your cup overflows, others are nourished. When your resources multiply, others are lifted. When your prosperity expands, so does your ability to impact lives, fund dreams, support causes, and bring hope to those in need. To bind yourself to wealth is to step into a role of stewardship, to carry prosperity not only for yourself but for the greater good. Binding yourself to wealth also means binding yourself to joy. Too many pursue wealth with heavy hearts, driven by stress and fear, but true prosperity is born in joy. Joy is the vibration that calls abundance forth with ease. When you delight in life, when you celebrate small blessings, when you cultivate laughter and peace, you are binding yourself more deeply to the frequency of wealth. Wealth is not attracted to desperation, it is attracted to joy, expectancy, and gratitude. The ritual of binding yourself to wealth can be as simple as words spoken each morning. Rise and declare, I am bound to wealth. I am tied to infinite supply. Prosperity flows to me and through me without end. Say it until your mind believes it, until your heart feels it, until your spirit radiates it. Let this be your daily vow, your sacred affirmation that keeps your union with wealth strong. See yourself as already united with prosperity. Picture yourself walking through life with abundance as your constant companion. Visualize opportunities finding you, resources chasing you, blessings surprising you. Walk as though your bond with wealth cannot be broken, because it cannot. What you bind in spirit is bound in reality. This union is eternal. Just as you cannot separate the sun from its light, you cannot separate yourself from prosperity once you have bound yourself to it. Lack may try to whisper lies, but your covenant is louder. Circumstances may appear uncertain, but your vow is stronger. Challenges may arise, but your union cannot be undone. You are bound to wealth, and wealth is bound to you forever. And so today, let your soul make its vow. Stand boldly and declare, bind me to wealth, bind me to abundance, bind me to the eternal river of supply. Let my life be forever tied to prosperity, never again to be severed by fear, doubt, or limitation. Speak it as truth, believe it as reality, live it as destiny. For once you are bound to wealth, the bond cannot be broken. Prosperity will follow you, surround you, and dwell with you, not for a moment, but for a lifetime. The sacred union is yours. The covenant of abundance is already signed in spirit. All that remains is for you to step into it fully, to live as though it is already sealed, to walk as though wealth is already holding your hand. And it is. It always has been. It always will be. Bind yourself to wealth, and watch your life be transformed into a testimony of unending prosperity. Wealth is not a distant dream, a far-off star that twinkles for others but never for you. It is not an arbitrary prize that only a chosen few can reach. Wealth is not dependent on luck, timing, or circumstance. It is not hidden in some vault of mystery, waiting for a special occasion to reveal itself. Wealth is here, it is now, it has always been, quietly waiting for the one who dares to step forward and claim it. This is not a matter of wishful thinking, it is a matter of alignment. When your heart, mind, and spirit harmonize with the truth of abundance, the universe responds without hesitation. To live in wealth is to live in harmony with this eternal truth. When we speak of binding ourselves to wealth, we are not speaking of chains or limitations. We are not seeking possession or clinging to material things as a form of validation. Binding to wealth is a sacred act, a conscious choice to unite yourself with the infinite supply that surrounds us. To say, "Bind me to wealth," is to proclaim with confidence and clarity, "I am one with prosperity, I am in agreement with abundance. I am tethered to the flow that has no beginning and no end." This binding is a spiritual contract with the universe, a promise that you will live in conscious partnership with all that is plentiful. Too often, people view wealth as an external outcome. They believe it depends on effort alone, on luck, on timing, or on conditions beyond their control. But true prosperity does not begin outside, it begins within. The foundation of binding yourself to wealth lies in belief. Belief is the invisible force that magnetizes abundance into form. You must first know, without doubt, that you are worthy. You must first recognize that you are deserving of all that life has to offer. Wealth is not a gift to be earned through struggle. It is your natural state, waiting for you to recognize it. When belief takes root, the mind begins to notice opportunities, doors begin to open, and the universe orchestrates circumstances in your favor. Gratitude is the thread that weaves this binding together. To be bound to wealth, you must cultivate an unwavering sense of thankfulness. Gratitude is not a polite acknowledgement of what is already visible, it is an energetic magnet for what is yet to appear. When you give thanks for abundance before it manifests, you are signaling to the universe that you are ready and willing to receive. Each word of gratitude, each heartfelt acknowledgement, is a declaration that binds you to prosperity. The more sincere your gratitude, the stronger your connection to the flow of wealth. Vision is the next pillar. It is not enough to desire wealth in vague terms, you must see it clearly. Your vision acts as a blueprint for reality. When your mind beholds abundance, your soul aligns with it, and your actions naturally fall into place to manifest it. Close your eyes and picture your life fully abundant, resources overflowing, opportunities appearing effortlessly, doors of prosperity opening in ways you could never have imagined. Let this vision become vivid, detailed, and alive in your imagination. Let it guide your daily choices, your thoughts, and your actions. The universe responds to clarity, and your vision is the compass that directs the flow of wealth toward you. Words are powerful instruments in the act of binding. What you declare with confidence, repetition, and belief takes form. Words are not mere sounds, they are seeds planted in the fertile soil of possibility. Speak your intentions daily. I am bound to wealth. I am aligned with prosperity. I am united with the endless flow of abundance. Let these words resonate through every fiber of your being. Say them until they become a natural expression of your identity, until your soul recognizes them as truth. Each declaration is a binding act, each affirmation a covenant with the infinite supply that surrounds you. This ritual of wealth is not selfish. Many mistakenly fear that embracing abundance means taking from others or hoarding for themselves. True prosperity is generous. It flows through those who are willing to receive it and naturally spills over to uplift others. To be bound to wealth is to honor this sacred circulation. You are not only claiming abundance for yourself, but creating a conduit for it to reach everyone around you. Wealth, when bound with integrity, gratitude, and vision, becomes a force of good, a light that expands beyond your personal needs. To fully bind yourself to wealth, you must release fear and limitation. Fear is the heaviest chain that keeps you from stepping into abundance. Fear says, "You are not ready. You are not deserving. There is not enough." Limitation whispers, "This is all you can have. Be content with what little you possess." To break these chains, you must consciously reject them. Declare your readiness, your worthiness, and your entitlement to abundance. Affirm that prosperity is not only available to you but is your natural state. When you release fear, you allow the current of wealth to carry you effortlessly toward your destiny. Consistency is essential in this ritual. Wealth is not a one-time event, it is a lifestyle, a state of consciousness maintained through repeated alignment. Each day offers an opportunity to reaffirm your binding, to visualize, to give thanks, and to speak words of power. Rituals, when practiced daily, solidify your connection with abundance. Morning affirmations, evening reflections, and mindful actions throughout the day become the practice of wealth. The universe recognizes your consistency and responds accordingly. What you repeatedly honor and declare becomes the foundation of your reality. Let us speak now of the power of expectation. To bind yourself to wealth, you must act as though abundance is already present. Walk through life with the certainty that you are living in a state of plenty. Expect opportunities to appear, expect doors to open, and expect resources to multiply. Your expectation is a signal to the universe that you are aligned with the flow of prosperity. When expectation is combined with belief, gratitude, and vision, it becomes irresistible. Life cannot help but conform to your mindset of abundance. The ritual is also deeply personal. Each person's path to wealth is unique, and binding to it requires self-awareness and authenticity. You must understand what wealth means to you beyond money. Wealth encompasses freedom, creativity, health, meaningful relationships, and spiritual fulfillment. Define what abundance looks like in every area of your life. Make your binding specific, intentional, and holistic. When wealth is bound to your full vision of life, it touches every aspect of your existence and creates a harmonious flow that cannot be resisted. Action is the final element. Binding yourself to wealth does not mean passive wishing. Action is the vessel through which abundance flows into form. Each step you take in alignment with your vision, each choice made from faith rather than fear, is a channel for prosperity. Your actions, when consistent with belief, gratitude, vision, and declaration, serve as the tangible expression of your binding. They are the bridge between the invisible current of wealth and the visible manifestation in your life. As you continue this ritual, remember that setbacks and delays are not denials. The universe has its own timing, and what is delayed is not denied. Maintain faith, maintain gratitude, maintain your declarations, and maintain your vision. Let the river of wealth flow around obstacles, let it reshape circumstances, and let it carry you forward with momentum. Challenges are merely signs that your alignment is being refined and that your connection to abundance is being strengthened. Today, you make a vow: bind me to wealth, bind me to abundance, bind me to the eternal flow of supply. Let this vow penetrate every layer of your being. Let it become your constant companion, guiding your thoughts, words, and actions. Live each day in awareness of this binding. When your mind wavers, return to your vision. When doubt creeps in, return to gratitude. When fear arises, return to your declaration of worthiness. This is the ritual that transforms lives. This is the ritual that unlocks the natural state of abundance. Wealth is not coming. It is already here. It has always been here. It exists in every moment, in every opportunity, in every thought of possibility. By binding yourself to it, you create a permanent connection. You create a spiritual, mental, and emotional alignment with the infinite supply. This alignment cannot be broken by circumstances, setbacks, or doubt. Once bound, wealth becomes not an event but a way of being. Understand that this binding is not about obsession. It is about recognition, alignment, and conscious participation. Obsession comes from lack, binding comes from acknowledgement of abundance. Obsession seeks to possess while binding seeks to harmonize. The ritual is an embrace, a conscious partnership, a celebration of the flow that has always existed and always will exist. When you live in this state, your life transforms. Opportunities appear, doors open, resources multiply, and prosperity becomes effortless. Wealth, when fully embraced, also brings clarity and purpose. You begin to see where your gifts are needed, where your contributions can make the greatest impact, and how abundance can flow through you to others. To be bound to wealth is to recognize that prosperity is not isolated, it is a communal force. It is not only for personal comfort, it is for the enrichment of the world around you. Your abundance becomes a light, a beacon, and a force for good. As this ritual becomes a part of your daily life, remember to celebrate small victories. Every manifestation, no matter how minor it seems, is a proof of alignment. Celebrate it, acknowledge it, give thanks. Each celebration strengthens your binding and magnifies the flow of abundance. Let your life be a continuous ritual of recognition, gratitude, declaration, and vision. Let each day be an opportunity to deepen your connection with prosperity. In conclusion, binding yourself to wealth is a sacred act, a conscious ritual, and a daily practice. It is built upon belief, gratitude, vision, declaration, action, expectation, authenticity, and consistency. It is not a one-time event but a lifestyle that transforms every aspect of your existence. Wealth is not distant, elusive, or uncertain. It is here. It is eternal. By consciously binding yourself to it, you create a permanent partnership with the infinite flow of abundance. Bind yourself to wealth today. Step into the current. Speak your declarations with faith. Hold your vision with clarity. Practice gratitude without limit. Act with purpose and intention. Release fear and limitation. Walk with the certainty that abundance is not only possible but your natural state. Let this ritual guide you, sustain you, and transform you. Let wealth in all its forms flow freely into your life. Let prosperity become not only what you have but who you are. Bind me to wealth. Bind me to abundance. Bind me to the eternal flow of supply. The universe is listening. Your life is ready. Wealth is not coming, it is already here. Step forward, align yourself, and claim it. This version is structured to naturally expand all keynotes and motivational points without explicit headings, keeping it flowing, inspiring, and suitable for a long-form motivational speech of around 3,500 words. Wealth is not a distant dream. It is not a prize reserved for someone else, nor is it a consequence of endless struggle. Wealth is your birthright. It is the natural state of life, waiting for you to claim it with unwavering certainty. Every person alive is meant to experience abundance in every form, financial, emotional, and spiritual. But abundance requires alignment. It requires conscious action, deliberate thought, and a willingness to embrace the prosperity that is already flowing toward you. When we say, bind me to wealth, we are calling for a sacred union with abundance itself, not as a fleeting concept but as a tangible, living force. To bind yourself to wealth is to commit fully to the stream of life, to step boldly into the river of infinite possibilities, and to declare with every fiber of your being that you will no longer settle for less than what you are naturally entitled to. The first step in binding yourself to wealth is to recognize that prosperity is your birthright, not a reward. Too many of us have been conditioned to believe that money must be earned through struggle or that opportunities are limited. We are told that we must compete, that we must wait, that we must sacrifice endlessly before abundance will arrive. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Wealth is not a gift handed to a select few, it is a natural state that belongs to everyone. To recognize this is to open the first door to abundance. When you understand that wealth is your inheritance, your mind no longer clings to fear, scarcity, or hesitation. Instead, it aligns effortlessly with the flow of prosperity that has always been waiting for you. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles, resources where others see lack, and solutions where others see dead ends. To be bound to wealth is not a call to greed or obsession with material possessions. It is a sacred union, a deliberate partnership with abundance itself. Binding yourself to wealth means aligning your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your inner beliefs with the infinite supply of the universe. It is a conscious choice to say, I am one with prosperity. I am part of the flow of abundance, and abundance is part of me. This binding is not about clinging to money or hoarding resources. It is about embracing a lifestyle in which wealth, opportunity, and generosity become inseparable from who you are. When you are bound to wealth in this way, you become a magnet for prosperity. You attract the right circumstances, the right people, and the right resources to your life effortlessly, as if the universe itself is conspiring in your favor. Think of abundance as a river, vast, ceaseless, eternal. It exists whether you are aware of it or not. Your role is not to create the river, it already flows. Your role is to step into its current, to remove the blocks of fear and doubt, and to allow the water of prosperity to carry you forward. Many people spend their lives struggling against the current, believing that effort alone will create abundance. But true prosperity comes not from struggle but from alignment. When you release resistance and step fully into the flow, wealth becomes inevitable. It does not matter where you start or what obstacles lie in your path. The river of abundance will carry you forward if you are willing to bind yourself to it. A critical part of this process is the way you think and speak about wealth. Words are not neutral. They are the building blocks of reality. What you say and think repeatedly creates your experience. When you bind yourself to wealth, you must use language that affirms abundance. Say to yourself daily, I am bound to wealth. I am united with the flow of prosperity. Opportunities come to me easily and effortlessly. Resources multiply around me. I am abundant in every way. These declarations are not empty words. They are powerful commands to the universe, shaping reality in alignment with your desires. The act of speaking and believing in abundance shifts your consciousness, and your external world begins to mirror the internal certainty you cultivate. But binding yourself to wealth is not only about declarations, it is also about action. Alignment requires conscious steps. It requires making choices that support abundance rather than scarcity. This may mean investing in your personal growth, seeking out new opportunities, expanding your skills, or surrounding yourself with people who inspire and uplift you. Every small action taken in faith strengthens your connection to prosperity. Wealth is not a passive state. It is a living force that responds to your willingness to engage with it. By taking consistent steps toward your goals, you reinforce your binding to abundance, making it stronger and more resilient over time. Within this ritual of abundance, gratitude plays a transformative role. Gratitude is the key that unlocks doors that seemed closed and draws blessings that were previously unseen. When you express sincere appreciation for what you already have, no matter how small, you signal to the universe that you are ready for more. The mind and heart that dwell in gratitude cannot focus on lack. They cannot dwell in fear or limitation. Instead, they magnetize opportunities, resources, and experiences. Every day, pause to acknowledge the abundance already present in your life. The air you breathe, the food you eat, the skills you possess, and the connections you maintain. By doing so, you create a fertile soil in which new wealth can take root and flourish. The ritual of gratitude transforms ordinary experiences into powerful affirmations of prosperity, binding you ever more deeply to the flow of abundance. Vision is another essential component of binding yourself to wealth. You must see abundance clearly before it manifests. Imagine your life fully abundant: the financial freedom, the opportunities, the freedom to pursue your passions, and the ability to make a positive impact on others. Picture it in vivid detail. Feel the emotions as if it has already arrived: the excitement, the relief, the joy, the confidence. This vision creates a magnetic field that draws the circumstances and resources necessary to bring it into reality. When your inner eye beholds prosperity, the outer world is compelled to align. Vision gives your intentions form and clarity, turning abstract desire into concrete possibility. Without a clear vision, wealth can appear elusive, but with vision you attract the people, ideas, and opportunities that make abundance inevitable. To be bound to wealth is to embrace the sacred responsibility that comes with abundance. Wealth is not meant to be hoarded selfishly. It is a force that is meant to flow. When you are fully aligned with prosperity, you naturally become a channel for generosity and positive influence. Your abundance ripples outward, impacting others and creating cycles of prosperity that extend beyond your personal life. This is the true power of being bound to wealth. It allows you to experience prosperity while uplifting the world around you. The universe does not reward selfishness, it rewards alignment, service, and generosity. By committing yourself to abundance, you commit not only to your own well-being but also to the greater good. Binding yourself to wealth also requires faith and unwavering belief. There will always be doubts, obstacles, and setbacks. There will be moments when the current of abundance seems distant or slow. But the ritual of binding wealth is a commitment to trust in the unseen flow. It is the understanding that the universe operates on principles far greater than any immediate circumstance. By maintaining faith and persistence, even when outcomes are not immediately visible, you reinforce your connection to prosperity. Wealth is not about luck. It is about consistency in thought, word, and action. Each moment of faith strengthens your bond with abundance, making it unbreakable. The ritual is further reinforced by conscious decision-making. Every choice you make either strengthens your binding to wealth or weakens it. Choose opportunities that align with growth, avoid actions rooted in fear or limitation, and cultivate habits that support your prosperity. By consciously aligning your daily behaviors with the principles of abundance, you create a life that naturally attracts wealth. This is not about luck or coincidence, it is about deliberate alignment, step by step, action by action, until the flow of prosperity becomes unstoppable. Every positive choice is a thread that weaves you deeper into the fabric of abundance. To truly bind yourself to wealth, you must also cultivate resilience. Life will inevitably present challenges, and setbacks are a natural part of any journey. But resilience ensures that these obstacles do not sever your connection to abundance. When difficulties arise, view them as opportunities to strengthen your commitment, to refine your vision, and to deepen your trust in the flow of prosperity. Resilience transforms resistance into growth, and challenges into catalysts for greater abundance. Those who are bound to wealth do not break under pressure, they bend, adapt, and continue to flow with the river of prosperity, knowing that every circumstance ultimately serves their highest good. As you continue this ritual, remember that wealth is not a distant destination, it is a present reality. It is not something to chase endlessly or hope for someday. Wealth exists now, waiting for you to recognize and claim it. By binding yourself to abundance through belief, vision, declaration, action, and gratitude, you align yourself with the eternal flow of prosperity. The river is already moving, all that remains is for you to step fully into its current, to embrace the gifts it carries, and to allow it to guide you toward your highest potential. The final element of this abundance ritual is alignment with your inner truth. True wealth is never solely about money, it is about freedom, purpose, and fulfillment. Binding yourself to wealth is about harmonizing your external success with your inner sense of purpose. When your actions, thoughts, and heart are aligned, prosperity flows effortlessly. Every financial gain, every opportunity, every blessing is amplified when it serves not only your own life, but also your broader mission in the world. Wealth becomes not just an outcome but a reflection of your highest self, a tangible manifestation of your inner alignment. Today, make your vow: bind yourself to wealth. Bind yourself to abundance. Bind yourself to the infinite flow of supply that exists in every moment. Declare it boldly, act in alignment, and cultivate unwavering faith. Let every thought, word, and action affirm your connection to prosperity. Allow gratitude, vision, resilience, and conscious decision-making to anchor this binding more deeply. By doing so, you create a life where wealth is no longer a distant dream, but a present reality, a force that flows through you, transforming not only your life but the lives of those around you. Wealth is not coming. It is already here. Step fully into the current, and it can never leave you. Wealth is not a distant dream. Wealth is not a prize to be earned only after years of struggle. Wealth is not something that comes to the lucky few while others are left waiting in uncertainty. Wealth is a living, breathing energy that surrounds us, available to everyone willing to align themselves with it. To say bind me to wealth is to make a sacred declaration. I am ready to enter into a lifelong partnership with abundance. I am ready to tie myself to the eternal flow of prosperity. I am ready to step into the rhythm of life where resources, opportunities, and blessings are endless. Binding yourself to wealth is not about greed. It is not about clinging or obsessing over material possessions. True binding is sacred. It is the recognition that abundance is a natural part of life, a reflection of the infinite supply that exists in the universe. To bind yourself to wealth is to declare, I am in alignment with prosperity. I am united with the flow of abundance that knows no lack, no limitation, and no end. This is a conscious choice to step into life as a magnet for opportunities, blessings, and financial empowerment. We begin this ritual of wealth with belief. Belief is the foundation of every form of abundance. Without belief, the mind will resist, doubt will arise, and the flow of prosperity will be blocked. To believe in wealth is to accept that it is already present, waiting for you to recognize it. You do not need to chase it. You do not need to negotiate with it. You only need to acknowledge that it exists, and that by binding yourself to it, you are claiming your natural inheritance. Wealth is not a reward for hard work or suffering. It is a state of alignment with the infinite. When your mind, heart, and spirit are aligned with abundance, you naturally attract prosperity in every form. Gratitude is the key that unlocks this alignment. Gratitude transforms scarcity into abundance. It turns what is invisible into what is tangible. It magnetizes blessings into your life before you even realize you need them. The ritual of wealth requires gratitude not as a polite gesture, but as a powerful spiritual tool. Every morning as you open your eyes, give thanks for the wealth already present in your life, your talents, your skills, your health, your relationships, and your opportunities. Give thanks for the unseen wealth that is making its way to you. Say, I am grateful for the abundance flowing into my life. I am grateful for prosperity that exceeds my expectations. I am thankful for every blessing, known and unknown, that is mine today and always. This gratitude binds you to wealth, preparing your mind, heart, and soul to receive more. Opportunities are everywhere, but they are invisible to those who are not attuned to abundance. The ritual of wealth requires awareness. It requires the ability to see what others overlook, to recognize the doors that open for you, to sense the resources already available in your life. Every interaction, every experience, and every connection is a potential source of wealth. When you bind yourself to abundance, you develop a heightened sensitivity to the flow of prosperity, and you begin to notice chances to grow, expand, and multiply your resources in ways you never imagined. Declaration is another essential part of this ritual. Words carry power. Your words shape your reality. What you declare with conviction, persistence, and clarity becomes your experience. To be bound to wealth, you must speak it into existence. Say, I am bound to wealth. Prosperity flows to me in abundance. I am united with the eternal supply of resources, opportunities, and blessings. Repeat this declaration until your mind, body, and soul resonate with it. Speak it as if it is already true. Speak it with the certainty that what you say manifests in the world around you. The power of your spoken word is the rope that binds you to prosperity, and the more you declare it, the stronger your connection becomes. Wealth is sacred. It is not selfish. Some mistakenly believe that to desire wealth is to dishonor spiritual values or moral principles. But the truth is that wealth is a tool, a vehicle for empowerment, and a channel through which you can make a positive impact on the world. When you are bound to abundance, your prosperity does not only benefit you, it radiates outward, touching the lives of your family, your community, and the people who cross your path. To be prosperous is to carry light into the world. By binding yourself to wealth, you are not simply seeking material gain. You are embracing your ability to contribute, uplift, and transform the lives of others through your abundance. Let us take a moment to imagine what it truly means to be bound to wealth. Picture yourself waking up every morning in a state of confidence, knowing that resources, opportunities, and blessings are continuously flowing into your life. Picture doors opening effortlessly. Picture new connections forming, bringing insight, guidance, and support. Picture finances multiplying, debts dissolving, and investments growing. Picture yourself sharing your blessings generously, without fear, without hesitation, without limit. This is the reality you are stepping into when you bind yourself to wealth. It is not a dream. It is a choice, a ritual, a declaration of your readiness to receive the abundance that is already here. The ritual of wealth requires consistency. It is not a one-time act, but a lifestyle. Every day you must renew your commitment. Every day you must practice gratitude, make declarations, and remain aware of opportunities. Wealth does not arrive only once. It flows to those who are persistent. aligned, and prepared to receive it consistently. Treat your daily rituals as sacred appointments with abundance. Make them non-negotiable. Speak your declarations. Feel your gratitude. Step boldly into the opportunities before you. Let every day be a binding to the prosperity that is your natural state. Fear and doubt are the enemies of abundance. They are the chains that prevent you from stepping fully into wealth. To bind yourself to prosperity, you must release these limitations. Say goodbye to thoughts of scarcity, lack, and impossibility. Recognize that fear is a false signal, a distraction from the infinite flow of supply. Replace it with faith, confidence, and expectation. Know that every challenge is temporary, every obstacle is surmountable, and every moment is an opportunity for wealth to manifest. By releasing fear and doubt, you open your mind and heart fully to the current of abundance, allowing it to flow without resistance. Wealth is also about energy. Your energy, your focus, and your intentions are magnets for prosperity. Aligning with wealth requires tuning your energy to abundance. Imagine your thoughts, emotions, and actions vibrating at a frequency of prosperity. Imagine that every intention you hold, every choice you make, and every step you take resonates with wealth. This energetic alignment is part of the binding ritual. When your energy is tuned to abundance, the universe responds, opportunities appear, resources manifest, relationships flourish, finances multiply. Every aspect of your life begins to reflect the prosperity you are bound to receive. Generosity is a natural outcome of true abundance. When you are bound to wealth, you do not hoard. You share, you uplift, you support. Wealth flows not only to you but also through you. Your abundance becomes a channel of blessings for others, creating a cycle of prosperity that expands endlessly. Generosity amplifies the binding. By giving, you acknowledge that wealth is limitless, that it is not finite, and that your supply is not diminished by sharing. Each act of generosity strengthens your connection to abundance and multiplies the flow of wealth in your life. Now, take a moment and make your vow: bind me to wealth. Bind me to abundance. Bind me to the eternal flow of supply. I am ready to receive all the prosperity that is my birthright. I am prepared to walk in abundance, contribute generously, and honor the flow of wealth in my life. Say it with conviction. Say it with certainty. Say it as if the universe is already listening and responding to your call. This is not a mere statement. It is a sacred ritual. It is a binding that activates your connection to wealth and ensures that prosperity becomes an integral part of your life. Remember, wealth is not a distant event. It is not someday. It is now. It has always been here, waiting for you to recognize it. By binding yourself to abundance, you step fully into the reality that wealth is already yours. You are not chasing it, struggling for it, or hoping it might come. You are claiming it. You are uniting with it. You are living it. And in doing so, every area of your life, your health, your relationships, your career, and your purpose, expands to reflect the abundance you are now bound to receive. Your daily ritual may include speaking declarations, feeling gratitude, visualizing your prosperity, taking inspired actions, and giving generously. But the core of this ritual is your alignment with abundance. It is your recognition that wealth is your natural state, that you are a magnet for resources and opportunities, and that by consciously binding yourself to prosperity, you activate the infinite supply that has always existed. This ritual is not limited by time or place. It can be performed wherever you are, whenever you choose, because abundance is not dependent on circumstances. It is a state of consciousness. As you practice this ritual, you will notice subtle shifts at first. Small opportunities may appear. Unexpected resources may come your way. Relationships may align in your favor. But over time, the effects become undeniable. Your life begins to reflect the abundance you have consciously bound yourself to. Obstacles that once seemed insurmountable dissolve. Challenges transform into opportunities. Your mind becomes a fertile ground for prosperity. Your actions become purposeful, intentional, and aligned with success. Ultimately, being bound to wealth is about embracing the full power of your life. It is about stepping into the reality that you are a powerful creator, capable of attracting, sustaining, and multiplying prosperity in every aspect of your existence. It is about living boldly, giving generously, and claiming unapologetically the abundance that is your birthright. So today, make your declaration. Bind yourself to wealth. Align your mind, heart, and spirit with abundance. Release fear, doubt, and limitation. Practice gratitude, awareness, and generosity. Speak your declarations with conviction, and feel the energy of prosperity flowing through you. Let this ritual be the foundation of your life. Let it guide you, inspire you, and empower you. Let it ensure that you are not only prosperous but also a source of blessings to everyone you touch. Wealth is not coming. It is here. It has always been here. Bind yourself to it, and it can never leave you. Claim your birthright. Walk boldly in abundance. Step fully into the prosperity that is your natural state. The ritual is simple, yet its power is infinite. Bind yourself to wealth today, and watch as every area of your life transforms in miraculous, beautiful, and unstoppable ways. You are ready, you are worthy. You are bound to wealth. And from this moment forward, Abundance is your constant companion, your faithful partner, and your eternal inheritance. Wealth is not a distant dream reserved for the few who are lucky, highly educated, or born into privilege. Wealth is not a prize to be won through struggle, or something that comes only to those who chase it relentlessly. True wealth is a living, breathing force. It is the natural state of the universe, and it is here for you right now. The moment you decide to bind yourself to abundance, the universe responds. The moment you step into alignment with prosperity, you begin a sacred partnership with the infinite supply that has always existed. When we speak of binding ourselves to wealth, we are not talking about a shallow pursuit of money or material goods. This is not about greed, nor about chasing after fleeting success. Binding yourself to wealth is about forming a deep, spiritual, and unbreakable connection with abundance itself. It is declaring to yourself and to the universe that you are in harmony with the flow of prosperity, that your life is intertwined with opportunity, growth, and expansion. The first step in this ritual is belief. You must believe with unwavering certainty that wealth is your birthright. You must understand that prosperity is not something you earn by struggle, nor is it something you wait for patiently over decades. Abundance is a living energy that is available to you at every moment. It is as natural as the air you breathe, as consistent as the sunrise, and as steady as the river flowing toward the sea. When you embrace this belief fully, when you allow yourself to truly feel that wealth is your natural state, you have taken the first step toward binding yourself to it. Imagine wealth as a river, an endless, flowing river of opportunity, abundance, and blessings. The river is already there. Your task is not to create it, but to step into it fully without hesitation or fear. Too often, people resist this flow because of doubt, fear, or limiting beliefs. They stand on the riverbank wishing for wealth, hoping for it, but never stepping into the current. The ritual of binding yourself to wealth is about taking that step. It is about releasing fear, letting go of scarcity, and immersing yourself in the limitless potential that surrounds you. Gratitude is a critical part of this ritual. Gratitude is the invisible magnet that draws wealth into your life. When you are genuinely thankful for what you already have, you signal to the universe that you are ready for more. Gratitude transforms what is unseen into the seen, turning invisible opportunities into tangible results. Every day, take a moment to give thanks for the abundance that surrounds you. The home you live in, the food you eat, the opportunities you encounter, the people who love and support you. The more you practice gratitude, the stronger your connection to wealth becomes. It is as if the universe says, "You appreciate what you have, so now I will give you even more." A vision is another cornerstone of binding yourself to wealth. Your inner vision shapes your outer reality. When you can see yourself living a life of abundance, when you can feel it in your heart and mind, the external world begins to reflect it. Close your eyes and imagine your ideal life, financial freedom, opportunities flowing effortlessly, doors opening in ways you never expected. See it vividly, as if it is happening now. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement, the empowerment of having wealth fully integrated into your life. The more clearly you can see it, the more easily it will manifest. Vision is not wishful thinking. It is a blueprint for your reality. The universe responds to clarity, and the more precise your vision, the more precise the response you will receive. Binding yourself to wealth also involves cultivating a mindset of expectancy. Do not wait for wealth to arrive, someday, or later. Wealth is here now, waiting for you to claim it. When you walk through life expecting abundance, your actions, your decisions, and your energy align with the flow of prosperity. Expectancy transforms opportunities into achievements. When you expect wealth, you see possibilities everywhere, and you take inspired action without hesitation. This expectancy is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is knowing that the universe is ready to respond to your readiness. To fully bind yourself to wealth, you must recognize that money and abundance are not separate from your personal growth and well-being. True prosperity is holistic. It encompasses not only financial wealth but also spiritual, emotional, and relational abundance. As you attract financial abundance, you also open yourself to richer experiences, deeper relationships, and a greater sense of purpose. Wealth, in its truest form, enhances your life and the lives of those around you. It is not a zero-sum game. Abundance multiplies, and when you are bound to it, everyone in your circle benefits. One of the most powerful aspects of binding yourself to wealth is understanding that words are living energy. What you say carries weight in the unseen world. When you speak positively about money, when you affirm your worthiness and your ability to attract wealth, you are shaping reality. When you declare abundance, opportunity, and prosperity, you are not merely expressing a desire, you are creating a blueprint for manifestation. Words are not empty, they are the seed from which your financial reality grows. Every affirmation, every declaration, every spoken commitment binds you more deeply to the flow of wealth. The act of binding yourself to wealth is also a spiritual commitment. It is sacred, not selfish. When you accept abundance fully, You are honoring the source of supply, and you are taking responsibility for the blessings you receive. Wealth is not meant to be hoarded, it is meant to be shared, multiplied, and used as a force for good. When you are bound to abundance, your life becomes a conduit for prosperity, extending beyond yourself to uplift others, support causes, and create positive change in the world. True wealth is generous. It flows outward as naturally as it flows inward. Every ritual of abundance must include the practice of release. To attract wealth, you must release the old beliefs, fears, and limitations that block the flow. Let go of the stories that tell you scarcity is your fate, that opportunities are rare, or that success must be earned through struggle. Release the guilt, the envy, and the resentment that keep you bound to limitation. As you release, you create space for new possibilities to enter. Abundance cannot flow into a life filled with resistance and doubt. When you clear the blocks, you allow the river of wealth to flow freely. Daily consistency is the secret to binding yourself permanently to wealth. This is not a one-time event or a fleeting intention. It is a lifestyle, a commitment, a daily ritual. Each day dedicate time to affirmations, visualization, gratitude, and expectancy. Let these practices saturate your consciousness until they become second nature. Over time, your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your energy align seamlessly with the flow of abundance. Wealth becomes not just a destination but a natural extension of who you are. It is also essential to understand the interconnectedness of giving and receiving. The more you give, the more you open yourself to receive. Giving is not about depletion, it is about circulation. Wealth, when shared, multiplies. When you contribute to the well-being of others, when you offer your resources, time, or talents generously, you signal to the universe that abundance is a flow, not a hoard. The act of giving strengthens the bond between you and the river of prosperity, making it impossible for scarcity to dominate your life. Fear and doubt are the greatest enemies of wealth. They act like chains that prevent you from fully binding yourself to abundance. To overcome them, cultivate faith in yourself, faith in the universe, and faith in the unseen forces that work in your favor. Trust that the flow of prosperity is intelligent and responsive. Know that the opportunities you need, the resources you require, and the breakthroughs you desire are already in motion. By replacing fear with faith, you strengthen your connection to the infinite supply, ensuring that nothing can sever your bond with wealth. Your environment also plays a role in your ritual of abundance. Surround yourself with people, ideas, and experiences that reinforce prosperity. Engage with individuals who inspire growth, who uplift your vision, who support your goals without jealousy or limitation. Curate your physical and mental space to reflect the wealth you desire. The river of abundance flows more powerfully when your surroundings echo its energy. As you continue to practice this ritual, you will notice synchronicities, opportunities, and breakthroughs appearing in ways that feel almost magical. These are not coincidences. They are the natural outcomes of your alignment with the universal flow of wealth. When you bind yourself fully, consistently, and consciously, life begins to respond. Opportunities that once seemed impossible now become accessible. Doors that were closed open effortlessly. Resources multiply, connections strengthen, and your capacity to receive grows exponentially. Ultimately, binding yourself to wealth is about embracing your inherent worth. It is about recognizing that you are deserving of prosperity, joy, and freedom. It is about stepping into your power with confidence, clarity, and courage. The ritual is a declaration to the universe and to yourself: I am worthy, I am ready, I am bound to abundance, and it will never leave me. This is not arrogance, it is alignment, it is truth, it is the natural state of a life fully immersed in prosperity. Wealth is not coming, it is already here, it has always been here. Your task is not to chase it, manipulate it, or earn it through struggle. Your task is to bind yourself to it fully, consciously, and permanently. Take your place in the river of abundance. Step into the current with faith, gratitude, vision, and expectancy. Speak life, act with integrity, give generously, release fear, and watch as wealth flows through every aspect of your life. Today is the day to make your vow. Today is the day to bind yourself to wealth, to tie your soul to the eternal flow of supply. Say it with conviction, live it with intention, and allow the energy of prosperity to transform your life forever. Once you are bound to abundance, you will find that nothing can ever sever the connection. Wealth will follow you, surround you, and flow through you as naturally as the air you breathe. Step into this ritual now. Bind yourself fully. Open your mind. Open your life. Prosperity is not just a possibility. It is your reality, waiting for you to embrace it fully, forever, and without limitation. Wealth is not something distant, something to be earned only through struggle or suffering. It is not a prize reserved for a few. Wealth is a living force, a flowing current, a sacred energy that exists in abundance and waits for you to step into it. It is not conditional, it is not delayed, it is not something you must chase endlessly. It is already yours. When you declare, "Bind me to wealth," you are not calling for greed or obsession. You are calling for alignment, for connection, for a partnership with abundance itself. You are tying your life to the infinite flow of prosperity, saying, I am ready to receive, I am ready to live in fullness, I am ready to honor the supply that already surrounds me. To bind yourself to wealth is to acknowledge that prosperity is your birthright. Many people live their entire lives believing that wealth must be fought for, clawed for, or begged for. They carry scarcity in their minds, believing that the universe's supply is limited, that they must compete, that there will never be enough. But abundance is not a limited resource. It is infinite, eternal, and always present. The moment you understand this, you step into the truth. Wealth is not something to be earned. It is something to be realized. To declare yourself bound to wealth is to recognize this truth. It is to remove doubt, hesitation, and fear, replacing them with faith, certainty, and confidence. Think of wealth as a river. The river is vast, flowing endlessly, moving with power and grace. It exists whether you are aware of it or not. You do not need to create it, you simply need to step into it. Yet many remain on the banks of this river, hesitating, thinking they must build a bridge or dig a channel. The ritual of binding yourself to wealth is simply the act of stepping in, of immersing yourself in the current, of allowing your life to be carried forward by the natural flow of prosperity. The river has no end, no beginning, no limitations. It moves with abundance. When you step into its waters, when you allow yourself to be bound to it, you are no longer struggling against the tide, you are moving with it. Belief is the foundation of this ritual. To truly bind yourself to wealth, you must first believe that it is possible, that it is yours, that it belongs to you. This belief is not casual, it is not a wish or a hope. It is a certainty that comes from deep within. You must feel it in your heart, see it in your mind, and affirm it with your voice. I am bound to wealth. I am one with abundance. I am in alignment with prosperity. When these words are spoken, when they are felt and seen in your consciousness, they become living power. They are no longer empty words. They are declarations of your destiny. Gratitude is an essential part of this ritual. Gratitude is the magnet that draws the unseen into form. To express gratitude is to recognize that you already have, even before you see the evidence in your life. It is to honor the supply that is constantly present, even when it has not yet manifested materially. When you speak words of gratitude, I am thankful for the wealth that surrounds me. I am grateful for the opportunities coming to me. I appreciate the abundance flowing into my life. You are creating energy that attracts more abundance. The universe responds to gratitude. It amplifies it. What you appreciate, you increase. Gratitude is not passive, it is active. It is the force that binds you the riches already present in the unseen world and brings them into your reality. Vision is the next essential step. The human mind is a powerful creative instrument. What you see with clarity and focus will manifest. Wealth begins in the imagination. You must picture yourself living in abundance, not as a dream for some distant future, but as a reality in the present. See yourself walking into opportunities that multiply your resources. See doors opening before you, connections aligning, finances expanding. Let your mind hold the picture so vividly that it feels real. When your inner vision is clear and unwavering, the external world cannot help but reflect it. Your sight is the blueprint of manifestation. You are creating by seeing, by imagining, by holding the image of your abundant life with unwavering faith. Words carry immense power. To bind yourself to wealth is to use your words deliberately, to speak life into your finances, your opportunities, and your destiny. Affirmations are not just repetition, they are declarations that create reality. Every time you say, I am bound to wealth, I am in alignment with abundance, I am open to receiving prosperity in all forms, you are planting seeds. You are wiring your consciousness to recognize opportunities, to act with confidence, and to attract resources. Words are living forces. They do not return void. They bind you to the outcome you declare, and they make the invisible visible. The act of declaration must be consistent. Wealth is not a one-time event, it is a continuous flow. You bind yourself to abundance not just once, but every day, every moment, through repeated affirmations, through persistent gratitude, through clear vision, through belief that never wavers. It is a ritual that becomes a lifestyle. Each day you renew your commitment. Each day you tie yourself more firmly to the current of abundance. You are not waiting for wealth to appear. You are stepping fully into it, claiming it, living it, and allowing it to move through you. To be bound to wealth is to release fear and limitation. Fear tells you that there is never enough. Fear says you must struggle endlessly. Fear creates doubt and blocks the flow of prosperity. To bind yourself to wealth is to reject fear. It is to embrace courage, faith, and expectancy. Limitation is a concept of the mind. There are no limits in the universe, there are only possibilities. You break free from limitation the moment you declare, I am bound to wealth. I am aligned with prosperity. I am free to receive. When you remove fear, you create space for abundance to enter. The ritual is also about action. Binding yourself to wealth does not mean passivity. It means being alert to opportunities. being bold in taking steps that align with your vision, being disciplined in your habits, and being generous with what you have. Action guided by vision, empowered by belief, and fueled by gratitude creates a cycle of manifestation that cannot be stopped. Each step you take is a tie to prosperity. Each choice you make reinforces your connection to abundance. Each effort becomes a channel through which wealth flows. Opportunities are everywhere, yet they are often invisible to the untrained eye. When you bind yourself to wealth, your awareness expands. You begin to recognize openings, align with people who elevate you, and act in ways that increase your abundance. Synchronicities, timing, and unexpected blessings become the norm. You no longer live in lack. You live in anticipation of prosperity, fully aware that the universe is conspiring in your favor. This ritual also transforms your relationship with giving. When you are bound to wealth, you understand that abundance is not hoarded, it flows. Giving becomes a natural extension of receiving. The more you share your prosperity, the more it multiplies. Wealth is energy, and energy that moves freely grows. Every act of generosity strengthens your bond with abundance, signaling that you are in alignment with the flow. By giving, you reinforce your connection to the infinite supply and allow more to return to you in greater measure. Your mind is your most powerful tool in this ritual. Thoughts, beliefs, and expectations shape your reality. If your mind dwells on scarcity, your experience will reflect it. If your mind is focused on abundance, your life will mirror that truth. To bind yourself to wealth is to take control of your mental landscape, to choose thoughts that empower, to cultivate beliefs that attract, and to hold an unwavering expectation of prosperity. Your consciousness is a magnet, and your focus determines what you draw. Consistency is key. The ritual is not a single event, it is a way of life. Every morning, affirm your connection to wealth. Every evening, express gratitude for abundance in your life. Throughout the day, visualize the flow of prosperity moving through you. Let it become your natural state, your default mindset, your identity. When you are consistent, the energy of wealth becomes inseparable from your being. You are no longer a seeker, you are a magnet. You are no longer hoping, you are receiving. To truly bind yourself to wealth, you must also cultivate patience. Abundance moves in its own perfect timing. You may not see the manifestation immediately, but the unseen is always at work. Your role is to maintain belief, gratitude, vision, and declaration, trusting that the universe is aligning circumstances to bring your desires into form. Impatience weakens the flow, patience strengthens it. When you wait with faith, your abundance arrives fully, perfectly, and without compromise. The moment you declare, "Bind me to wealth," you are making a covenant with prosperity. It is a spiritual commitment, a promise to yourself, a declaration to the universe. You are saying, "I am ready, I am open, I am worthy." You are binding yourself to a flow that cannot be stopped, to a current that cannot be reversed, to an energy that responds to your faith. This is the power of the ritual. It is simple yet profound. It is subtle yet transformative. It is invisible yet real in every aspect of your life. Every experience, every opportunity, every resource you encounter becomes part of this binding. Each connection you make, each decision you take, each word you speak reinforces it. Wealth is no longer accidental or random. It is deliberate, intentional, and inevitable. You are no longer a participant in life. You are a co-creator. You are no longer a spectator. You are an active force, shaping your reality, attracting your desires, and walking fully in abundance. Wealth is already here. It is not coming. It has always been present. You are not waiting for something to arrive. You are aligning yourself to what already exists. The river flows, the current moves, the energy of prosperity surrounds you. When you bind yourself to wealth, you step fully into this truth, and nothing can ever separate you from it. It is not outside of you. It is within you. You are a vessel of abundance, a channel for prosperity, a living expression of infinite supply. Step into this ritual now. Speak the words, feel the energy, hold the vision, express gratitude, act with intention, release fear, embrace patience. Bind yourself to wealth and let the current carry you forward. Let your life reflect the fullness, the richness, and the infinite possibilities that are your natural inheritance. Today is the day you claim it. Today is the day you step fully into the flow of abundance. Today is the day you are bound to wealth, and from this moment forward, prosperity is inseparable from your being. Bind yourself to wealth, and it can never leave you. Bind yourself to abundance, and it will follow you in every endeavor, in every thought, in every action. Bind yourself fully, completely, without hesitation, and watch as your life transforms beyond what you ever imagined possible. This is the power of the ritual. This is the truth of abundance. This is your birthright, now claimed, now realized, now lived. Wealth is not something to chase in the future. It is not a distant prize waiting for your arrival, nor a reward reserved for the select few who toil endlessly. Wealth is already present, flowing all around you, as natural and constant as the air you breathe, the sunlight that warms your face, and the river that winds tirelessly toward the ocean. To bind yourself to wealth is to recognize this truth and to align yourself fully with it. It is a conscious choice to enter the current of abundance and allow it to carry you into a life of prosperity, freedom, and fulfillment. The first step in this sacred ritual is the understanding that wealth is your birthright. It is not something earned through struggle, nor is it something to be begged for or pleaded over. It is inherent within you. The universe itself is abundant. Everything it creates, from the stars in the sky to the grains of sand on the shore, is produced in perfect, infinite measure. If the universe can give without end, why should your share be anything less? To claim wealth as a birthright is to declare, with conviction, that there is no lack within you, and that abundance flows freely to those who open their hands and hearts to receive it. Binding yourself to wealth is more than a mental exercise. It is a sacred union. It is a tying together of your inner belief, your spoken word, and your daily actions with the eternal flow of prosperity. This binding is not about greed or selfish accumulation. It is about alignment. It is about saying, I am one with the energy of abundance, I am a magnet for opportunities, and I will allow prosperity to flow into every area of my life. When you bind yourself to wealth, you are choosing to live in harmony with the laws of the universe, trusting that supply is unlimited and available in perfect timing. Wealth is not created by effort alone. It is discovered in alignment. Imagine abundance as a vast river flowing ceaselessly, never stopping, never drying up. The river does not ask for permission to flow, and it does not question who deserves its waters. It simply flows. The ritual of binding yourself to wealth is about stepping into that river. It is about releasing fear, doubt, and limitation, and immersing yourself fully in the current of prosperity. The more you resist or struggle, the shallower your experience. The more you surrender, the deeper your connection and the greater your abundance. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools in this ritual. To give thanks in advance is to recognize the invisible before it manifests into form. Gratitude is a declaration that you already possess what you seek, and in doing so, it magnetizes those blessings into your reality. Begin each day with a heart full of gratitude. Thank the universe for the opportunities you will receive, for the wealth that is already on its way, and for the countless blessings you may not yet see. Gratitude transforms your consciousness. It shifts you from a mindset of lack to one of fullness, opening doors that would otherwise remain closed. When gratitude becomes a daily habit, wealth cannot help but respond, for it is drawn to the vibration of appreciation and joy. Vision is equally essential in this ritual. The mind's eye must see the outcome before it manifests in the physical world. To bind yourself to wealth, you must envision abundance as already present. Picture yourself living in prosperity. Feel the comfort, the freedom, and the joy that wealth brings. See your bank account overflowing, opportunities multiplying, and doors opening where there were once walls. When your inner vision is clear, the universe works to match that clarity in the outer world. Vision is the blueprint that guides manifestation, the map that directs the river of abundance toward your life. Without vision, the current may flow past you unnoticed. With vision, you step in and move with it intentionally. Words carry immense creative power. Declaration is the act of giving form to thought. In this ritual, speak your intentions boldly. Affirmations are not mere repetition, they are commitments. When you say, I am bound to wealth, I am united with abundance, prosperity flows to me in perfect ways, you are not asking for wealth, you are claiming it. Your words create a binding force that ties you to the unseen energy of abundance. Speak with conviction. Feel the truth behind your declarations, and act as if your words have already manifested. Every time you verbalize your intention, you strengthen the invisible chain connecting you to prosperity. Your spoken word becomes a bridge between desire and reality. Being bound to wealth is a sacred responsibility. It is not selfishness. It is recognition of your own potential and of the universal flow that surrounds you. True prosperity does not hoard or limit, it expands. When you allow abundance into your life, it naturally spills over into the lives of others. Your wealth becomes a force for good, creating opportunities, helping those in need, and uplifting communities. In this way, binding yourself to wealth is not only a personal ritual, it is a contribution to the world. The energy of prosperity, once claimed, multiplies and benefits more than just yourself. The ritual of binding yourself to wealth is also a ritual of daily practice. Wealth does not arrive through one grand declaration alone, it arrives through consistent alignment with abundance. Each day, remind yourself of your worthiness, your connection, and your power to create. Meditate on prosperity, speak your affirmations, visualize your success, and act with the confidence of one already in possession of the abundance you seek. Small daily practices compound into monumental results over time. Wealth becomes not just a possibility, but an inevitable outcome. Fear is the greatest enemy of this ritual. Fear creates resistance, doubt blocks flow, and hesitation delays manifestation. To bind yourself to wealth, you must confront and release fear. Replace it with faith. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Faith says, I may not see it yet, but it is already here. I trust the universe. I trust the process. I trust myself. When you move through life with faith rather than fear, you allow abundance to flow naturally, without obstruction. Faith binds you to wealth more firmly than any material effort ever could. Another essential element of this ritual is action, aligned with inspired guidance. Wealth is drawn to motion. It is attracted to those who step forward with intention and courage. Action does not mean frantic struggle, it means inspired steps taken from a place of clarity and purpose. When opportunity appears, act. When insight arises, follow it. When doors open, walk through them. The universe moves in perfect synchrony with those who move toward their goals with faith and decisiveness. Action, combined with belief, vision, gratitude, and declaration, completes the binding ritual, anchoring abundance into every corner of your life. The energy of wealth is responsive. It mirrors your internal state, reflecting your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. If you live in fear, you attract limitation. If you live in doubt, you attract scarcity. But when you live in expectation, faith, and gratitude, abundance cannot help but respond. It mirrors the confidence, clarity, and openness you hold within. The ritual of binding yourself to wealth is, therefore, not only about material gain, it is about cultivating an inner state that naturally attracts everything you desire. Imagine the life you have always dreamed of. Picture the freedom to pursue your passions without constraint, the joy of financial security, and the empowerment of knowing you are fully supported by the universe. Feel it in every cell of your body. That life is not a fantasy, it is your potential reality. By binding yourself to wealth through this ritual, you are stepping into the energy of that reality, making it inevitable. The universe is neutral, it responds to the vibration you emit. Emit abundance, and abundance must flow to you. Part of this ritual is the recognition that wealth exists in many forms. It is not solely about money. Wealth includes health, time, relationships, creativity, knowledge, and spiritual fulfillment. To bind yourself to wealth is to allow abundance in all these areas. It is to live a life of fullness, richness, and joy, where every aspect of your existence flourishes. When one area of wealth expands, it often accelerates growth in other areas. The ritual, therefore, embraces a holistic vision of abundance, one that nurtures mind, body, and spirit alike. Commitment is essential. To bind yourself to wealth is to make a vow, a personal covenant with the universe. Repeat your commitment daily, speak it aloud, write it down, feel it deeply. This binding is a pledge to yourself, a promise to remain aligned, and a statement of your readiness to receive. Consistency is the key. The more you reinforce your connection to abundance, the stronger it becomes, until it is inseparable from your identity and your life. As you continue this ritual, you will notice shifts. Opportunities appear where before there was only stagnation. Resources flow where there were once obstacles. Relationships support your vision. Ideas flourish, and solutions emerge with ease. These are the signs that the binding is working, that you have aligned with the current of wealth, and that abundance is responding to your declaration. Trust these signs, celebrate them, and allow them to propel you forward. Wealth is not a one-time event, it is a lifelong relationship. Binding yourself to it is a commitment to a way of life, continuous alignment with prosperity. It is about cultivating habits, thoughts, and attitudes that support abundance every day. It is about maintaining gratitude, clarity, vision, faith, and inspired action indefinitely. The ritual does not end, it evolves with you, growing as your understanding and experience of wealth deepen. Finally, remember that abundance is limitless. There is more than enough for everyone. To bind yourself to wealth is not to take from others, to participate fully in the universal supply. When you claim your portion, you do not diminish anyone else, you enhance the collective flow of prosperity. The universe rewards generosity, openness, and courage. By binding yourself to wealth, you become a living conduit of abundance, a source of inspiration and a beacon of possibility for others. Bind yourself fully, with conviction and joy. Bind your mind, your heart, your words, and your actions to the reality of wealth. Feel it, speak it, see it, live it. Let your commitment be unwavering. Allow the current of abundance to carry you to heights beyond imagination. Recognize that wealth is not waiting, it is already here. Step into it fully, and it will never leave you. The ritual of binding yourself to wealth is a call to awaken. It is a call to remember that you are a powerful, creative force in a universe of infinite supply. It is a call to live without limitation, to act with faith, to speak with authority, and to receive with gratitude. It is the path to not just surviving but thriving. It is the path to a life overflowing with joy, freedom, and fulfillment. Repeat your declaration: I am bound to wealth. I am united with abundance. Prosperity flows to me in perfect ways. I am worthy. I am ready. I am one with the infinite supply of the universe. Say it until it resonates in every part of your being. Speak it until the current of abundance responds. Live it until every aspect of your life reflects the wealth you have claimed. This is the ritual, the commitment, the sacred act of binding yourself to wealth. And so, as you move forward from this moment, know that wealth is not coming someday. It is already present. You are not waiting for opportunity, you are already in the current. You are not asking for abundance, you are claiming it. Bind yourself to it fully, consciously, and with joy, and you will discover a life where wealth is inseparable from your very being, a life of limitless possibilities, overflowing blessings, and eternal prosperity.